Tense moments in the nation's capital today as this man right here pulled his truck up onto the sidewalk and demanded to speak to the president. He claimed he had multiple bombs placed throughout D.C. and he was going to set them off. He even live streamed himself doing this. There's a lot of questions. Who is this guy? Did he really have bombs? What did he want? Why is there cash all over the street? Who took this photo? We're going to answer all of that and so much more. And there's some insane tidbits here, so don't miss anything today. Here he is, D.C. bombing suspect Ray Roseberry. He filmed himself. In fact, he streamed this on Facebook today as he was in his truck on that sidewalk. First, he explains the bomb he has.
This thing won't go off unless these windows break. Works off decimals. Y'all see that little round thing? I know you're watching me.
He's saying
This
it's
little round
sound
thing right here is
activated.
speakers. These little wires out this side right here, they run down to these wires. This is tannerite.
That's an explosive.
I'm sure they know what it is.
So he's claiming that if the window breaks, this bomb will go off. And he sits here waiting for the president, I guess.
Just come out here and talk to me, Joe. America's tired of it. And I'm not setting this bomb off, Joe. You are. You're going to be the one setting it off, not me.
You get a pretty clear idea
No.
of what he's looking for here. He wants somebody to fire some shots at his truck, apparently. And he is going through some things mentally, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But he continued this stream for quite some time until Facebook finally took it down.
I can't set this bomb off. Joe, you're the only one. You are the only one in America that can set this bomb off. Tell him to pull the trigger, Joe. Tell him. There's 4 more sitting out here. Tell him, Joe.
So he said there's 4 more, as if there's 4 more explosives around there. To me, it looks like he has a big tin can with something on top and then like a piece of electronics that he took from somewhere, and probably not a tannerite explosive, but we are going to answer that
Tell him
question.
to pull the trigger. I'm ready.
He ranted quite a bit about politics.
We'll send somebody out here to talk to him.
It's an inconvenient time to get a message.
Because I ain't going nowhere, Joe. I want to go home by Sunday.
Awkward.
Hope all American people don't make a liar out of me.
So he went on and on about being a Trump supporter and a Trump fan, and he wanted to talk to President Joe Biden. I'm sure he's not a huge fan of Biden. And then hours later, this went on for about 5 hours or so, we get this breaking news from MSNBC about the conclusion.
It's over. It has ended peacefully. Several law enforcement officials tell us that Floyd Ray Roseberry, the man who parked his vehicle on the sidewalk in front of the Library of Congress, has surrendered to authorities and is now in custody. Now, remember, this has been almost 5 hours since this all began, when this man from North Carolina drove his pickup truck onto the sidewalk in front of the Library of Congress about a block from the Capitol, and then apparently himself called 911 trying to attract attention, and as the police were responding, began to broadcast live on Facebook.
He did, until they ended up yanking that stream and his entire profile. He had a lot of posts about patriotism, a lot of posts in support of former President Trump, and even some photographs of him at the event held on the Capitol before the Capitol was overwhelmed by a massive crowd of Trump supporters later that day. And here's some of the quick reaction from the Associated Press. A man who claimed to have a bomb in a pickup truck near the Capitol surrendered to law enforcement after an hours-long standoff Thursday that prompted a massive police response and the evacuations of government buildings and businesses in the area. Police did not immediately know whether there were explosives in the vehicle, but authorities were searching the truck. I have an update on that, which I'm going to give to you in just a second. There was 5 hours of negotiations, and then finally he crawled out of the truck and was taken into law enforcement custody. Some press conferences now, this first from the Capitol Police in Washington, D.C., discussing what happened with Roseberry, the potential explosives, and everything that went down today in D.C.
Again, thank you for your patience. Just moments ago, Floyd Roy Roseberry from Grover, North Carolina, was taken into custody without incident. As we talked about earlier, Mr. Roseberry had parked a truck and was sitting in a truck for several hours in front of the Library of Congress. And he had advised that he had explosives. And over the course of time, we tried to negotiate with Mr. Roseberry. We first started doing that with a whiteboard, just writing messages back and forth. We used a robot to get a telephone down to him, but he would not use the telephone. But shortly after we had delivered the telephone, he got out of the vehicle and surrendered, and the tactical units that were close by took him into custody without incident.
So there he is. That's the arrest from the side of the Capitol Police. Meanwhile, he's actually from North Carolina, and authorities in North Carolina obviously caught wind of what was going on, so they decided to go to his house and see what was up. You're going to hear some details before the man in the suit right here, awkwardly, in the most awkward way I think possible, works his way away from the microphone.
Afternoon. I'm Alan Norman, Cleveland County Sheriff. Just prior to 11 a.m. today, we received a telephone call from our local FBI office in Charlotte in regards to a situation that had occurred or was occurring in the United States Capitol. We in turn came to this area just south of here and secured a residence in the 3000 block of Blacksburg Road. It's currently an ongoing investigation, not only with the Sheriff's Office, but ATF, the FBI, Gaston County Police Department, and the North Carolina Highway Patrol. There'll be limited information
Wait
we
for
can
it.
actually discuss right now, but there'll be more information forthcoming.
Watch. Just slowly slink out of the scene here and get out of the way. We also have, this is the photo that sort of started it all, certainly started this video, from Fupa Mama, or Nirvana Noir, on Twitter. She said, casually witnessing a bomb threat on the way to class. No big deal. Love this country. Hashtag Capitol. Hashtag Library of Congress. And she posted this photo that has now gone viral everywhere. All of the news agencies, for the record, who are asking if they can use the photo in broadcasts, she's saying, pay me, bitch, and pay up, and things like that. Here's from Talking Points memo, an interview they did with the woman who took the photograph. It says, Bob told TPM she was on her way to class, literally a block away from the Library of Congress, when the truck interrupted her walk down the sidewalk. She heard a man in it say he had a bomb and watched him toss fistfuls of dollar bills out the window. I'm from Boston. I'm from a city, so when crazy things happen, you just mind your business. Oh, love that. She was worried about her classmates walking behind her, though, and called them so they'd stay away. It's a white guy in a truck near the Capitol. I'm not from D.C. I don't know if that's a regular Tuesday here. She said she saw some people ignore the man and keep walking, while one DoorDash delivery man stopped his bike to scoop up the bills. So somebody was grabbing the cash that was on the ground. Here's an important detail from NBC4 in Washington. And this is Tom Lynch reporting. On a phone call with News 4, Roseberry's wife said her husband left their home overnight, and he said he was going on a fishing trip. She had no idea he was headed to D.C. He recently became more politically active and voted for the first time in his life for ex-President Donald Trump, she said. She said her husband was deeply upset by the results of the 2020 election and also faced mental health issues, which is quite obvious. People will try to play political ping pong with stories like these and say, it's proof of this or it's proof of that. This is a man who is suffering delusions of grandeur and certainly I don't believe was an actual threat today, but caused quite a bit of chaos in the city. And here's the big reveal. 2 law enforcement officials, according to Jeff Bennett, say a search of Floyd Roseberry's pickup did not turn any viable explosive devices up. So they didn't turn up any viable explosive devices in the car, and it seems pretty clear that the other devices were probably just completely and totally made up. This man was having a bit of a mental breakdown. What do you think? What does this say? Is this some sort of symptom of something greater going on? Is this man somebody who actually truly was a danger? He just went streaming and streaming and streaming on
I'm gonna make that
Facebook.
clear to the American people. I cannot set this bomb off. I cannot set this bomb off.
Should Facebook have
The only
allowed
thing
this?
that can set this bomb off is enough decimals.
Uh-oh. He's
The
getting
shatter of this glass in this truck is enough decimals.
decimals. He's going to cry.
to start the revolution.
Oh, boy. There he is. An attempt to start the revolution from this man. And no revolution was started today, just for the record. Give me your thoughts on what happened today in D.C., the response to it, the media coverage, and all the rest. And if you were walking by, would you pick up that money? I think you would pick up that money. Something tells me you'd pick up that money. Hit that share button to spread the word and get this around to your friends. If you're new around here, maybe somebody shared this video to you. Well, first of all, welcome. If you want videos just like this every single day, all you have to do is hit the follow button at facebook.com/thenewsjunkie. It's free for you to do. And if you want to support, you can become a supporter on the page. We have some magnets, the News Junkie magnets, that I'm going to be sending to supporters very, very soon. I appreciate you. Those of you over on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie, hit the subscribe button or support over there. I appreciate you watching. I look forward to your comments. We'll talk to you again real soon.